First of all, I'm not going to worry about it, Phil, because he's not going to win.
She's going to win this. I'm going to take every one of the swing states. And I said, you do realize you wasted your vote, right?
We're gonna win. We're gonna win.
There's no world in which Donald Trump could, no imaginable world in which Donald Trump could ever win a popular majority in America.
What are we going to say to Donald Trump in November?
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
It's going to be a landslide. I think they're going to call it Tuesday night, too.
Yeah, here we go.
And so I worry not about myself, actually. I don't worry about my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher. I worry about our elderly and their Social Security and their Medicare. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have. And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that. So again, I'm profoundly disturbed that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution.
Democrats need to be mature and they need to be honest. And they need to say, yes, there's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men.
Mm-hmm.
Misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men. Things we've all been talking about. We do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman, especially in the United States. You know, they
Voted, and I chose family.
Let's end this reign of terror now.
I chose family. I chose women. I chose America.
Come on.
I chose women.
You're wrong.
It's an utter betrayal for anything.
Watching my freedom, safety, and overall rights being taken away. What are you talking? Oh, is it true?
Guys, how the fuck are we back here again? How the fuck are we back in this same situation again? Just absolutely cannot fucking wait for this to be over. And doom.
I am one of the 30% of white men voting for Kamala Harris.
No shit. That is a creepy motherfucker right there. Holy shit.
Internet's gone wild, watching movie stars on trial.
Here's what gets me. He literally said,
She's definitely going to win the popular vote. I think he will, of course, go batshit insane as he always does. He won't accept it.
These are the greatest pre-election cocky, taunting videos that Democrats and their supporters made just prior to the election. They aged like a fine milk. Starting with this absolutely genius poli-sci professor who taunted a minimum wage earning cashier.
No! 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 Why?
And I'm sorry to say, I know Nikki Haley is now trying to come back into the fold, trying to come back to Trump. Maybe I'm a bad person. I just do not trust this lady after what she tried to do. I think she was also funded by like Reid Hoffman, this major Democrat donor.
And if Donald Trump is the nominee, mark my words, we will see a President Kamala Harris.
Governor, thank you.
It always seemed like she was this close to pulling a Liz Cheney. And this, folks, is the pièce de résistance. Bill Maher, who occasionally tries to sound critical of the Democrat Party for clout, committed the most spoiled milk take of them all.
Am I going to worry about it? First of all, I'm not going to worry about it, Phil, because he's not going to win.
So you think he's just worn it out? You think people are just going to get fatigued?
Enough. I
Just
feel
category fatigue.
I mean, it's just going to be, we're talking about a few 100,000 people perhaps, but I think it's going to be a little closer than that. First of all, she's definitely going to win the popular vote, as Democrats almost always do now. I think he will, of course, go batshit insane as he always does. He won't accept it. His followers, I think, I don't think their heart will really be in it as it was in 2020. Some of them, there's lots of people who will always be in the bunker with Mrs. Goebbels taking the poison and giving the poison to the children because it's better than living in a world without National Socialism. I make an analogy, but I don't say he's a Nazi. But I think for most people, it's just fatigue. Yes, I think it's time.
Don't fall for his tough on Democrat shtick. He's tough on them because he loves them and wants them to bring harm to Trump and his supporters.
You can call her Madam President in 19 days. It's okay. You can call her a Madam Vice President. You'll call her Madam President soon. You're just like deliberately being disrespectful.
Poor little Harry Sisson is part of the AstroTurf Democrat content creation universe, basically the twink version of David Pacman, who recently melted down after hemorrhaging subscribers who believed his arrogant and delusional pre-election prediction of a Harris landslide. Poor guys.
We now know where Trump can perform and where he can't perform, what he can and can't do, what his ceiling and floor are as a presidential candidate. And Joe, this is the thing. There's no Republican who's paid attention to his run in 16, his run in 20, and the Republican performance in the midterms around those years that doesn't know what baggage Donald Trump has and what the baggage is, as you just said, that he can't shed. There are voters he'll never get. There are places he'll never be competitive. And there's so many of them now that there's no world in which Donald Trump no imaginable world in which Donald Trump could ever win a popular majority in America, in the American electorate. And the narrow needle that he needs to thread in the Electoral College has gotten narrower and narrower to the point where Trump he is a powerhouse within the Republican Party still. And yet on the national level, running, head-to-head presidential contest, a general election, he's getting close to, not unelectable yet, but the deficits he carries into that race are so huge and so well known and specified that if the Republican Party were a rational body with a single mind, there's no world in which he would be the nominee. But that, of course, is not the way our politics work. And there are still tens of millions of people in the Republican Party who don't see this and would vote for Donald Trump to be the nominee and vote for him to be president again. And that's the conundrum that the party faces.
Trump's political career is done, quote, Democrat stooge and fake journalist John Heilman, only a few months before Trump's landslide win, Electoral College and popular vote. Heilman, who recently said X, formerly known as Twitter, is pure misinformation, while his network, MSNBC, is the shining exemplar of truth.
Not only is Twitter not a real place, but it's become a toxic cesspool filled with nothing, not about right. It's not about conservative. It's just filled with misinformation, disinformation, and conspiracy theories. So I would rather not have the left replicate that. If that's what's required.
Twitter is real. Well, the internet is real. Somebody just wrote a big article about this. That is where reality is now. And this is perfect for the movie you're going to do.
The AstroTurf YouTubers lose subscribers, but somehow idiots like this stay employed. Make it make sense. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you on the next one.